welcome to another episode of Pop Cultured with me. Me and Dex have had a very busy weekend. We've been at MCM and we both travelled down. Dex travelled down the Thursday night and I travelled down the Friday, so Dex was there on the Friday. So we didn't get a chance to record like we usually do the Friday night. But I just wanted to quickly come on and do a quick rundown of Stranger Things Volume 1. Because I got a chance to watch it before I left. Dex hasn't managed to watch it all. But I just wanted to give my thoughts and a bit of a spoiler on what I thought was going on and stuff like that. So, first of all, a spoiler-free section. I really enjoyed it. I love this show. I think it's been a very big breath of fresh air to find a new genre and new story, a new IP. That's the word I'm looking for. A brand new IP that has really taken off. Like, it's not a reboot, it's not a remake or something or a sequel. It's its own thing, and everyone has loved it from day one. And Stranger Things 5 is no different, and it's really set up for a fantastic finale. I don't think it's going to take much persuading for people to watch it by now. Like, if you've been watching so far, you're probably going to watch Season 5, but I highly, highly recommend checking out Volume 1 of Season 5. So now into spoiler territory. I'm going to have to touch on the ending first. Like, Will getting the powers was mad. It's not what I expected, and it was really cool. Like, I love how he killed the Demogorgons exactly the same as Vecna killed the kids in Season 4. I thought the way that Noah did that scene was really cool, really commanding, and the kids, well, they're not kids anymore, are they? Like you say, the kids, none of them are kids anymore. They have all grown up. They're all adults, young adults now, even in the continuity of the show. Like, I know the actors are older, but even the continuity of the show, they are young adults now. And to see characters like Mike, Lucas, like, taking their own and, like, protecting others. Like, they were the kids who were running away in the first series, second series, and even, like, leading up to Season 4. And now they are the ones protecting the next generation who are getting involved in this. Really cool to see how the characters have grown over the seasons. I really didn't expect to see, I think it's 8. Was it 8? The number 8. I don't want to say her name because I can't remember it. I know it's because of the K, I think. Was it Carrie? Or something like that? But anyway, one of the other kids who was with Eleven in the Hawkins lab when she was growing up, I did not expect that. I did not expect to see her come back, like, from that episode in Season 2, I want to say, which is regarded as not a very good episode. It's still a good episode in terms of TV, but in Stranger Things, Stranger Things has been very high standard all the way through, and it was one of the weaker ones. I didn't think it was Vecna. There was no way it was going to be Vecna. There was no way they'd captured him. I didn't know what it was going to be, or who it was going to be in terms of her, and I'm really interested to see now the fact that we've got 3 superpowered beings that are going to be able to take him on, because onto Vecna, he has really powered up. Now, I know I've seen a few people not liking his look online, how he's not much of a body anymore. He's like made of tendrils and stuff like that. I personally loved it. I actually liked it better than the original. The only thing I'm not too sure on is his face with the little cheek things that come around. I think if you remove them, it would have looked a bit better. He does look a bit like Megatron, like a organic Megatron from the Bayverse. But I personally love the look. I love how it shows that his powers have improved even more. He's even more powerful, that he can use the tendril arm, and it just seems that he's stronger in general, like being in the Upside Down even more for the length of time we've had. He's grown his powers, and obviously he was beaten and battered, and he's obviously healed himself, but the healing process has also made him more powerful, and he's now fully bulletproof. He stopped the flames so easily, compared to not even stopping them at all or getting thrown out the window by Nancy shooting him. Yeah, I love his look. Just touch on a few things I wasn't sure about. The one thing which I'm still not sure, but they've rectified it a lot, was The way it left off in season 4, it looked like Hawkins was hell on earth. Like, it looked mental. Like, there was craters and the town was split in half and everything. And I feel like it started where it wouldn't really, if you understand what I mean. Like, it seemed like, although the army are there and they've got now they've got metal sheets all over the openings and stuff, I felt as though that was a bit like a way of getting round the fact that they'd released like Hell on Earth. I personally feel like it should have just dropped in that there's like now Demogorgons coming out of these things, and it's like a full-on portal to the Upside Down. And I know there's the tear in the library, but it just felt a bit like, oh, you've missed that, and I was expecting that. That could just be me, like, not taking away from where they're going with the story. I thought they really, really did very, very well with it. The other thing was Dustin. I love Dustin as a character. A lot of people do love Dustin as a character. However, I just felt as though I know he's mourning Eddie and I know all that bit, but it felt like that part didn't really need to be done, the beating him up and stuff like that. There's obviously the rift between him and Steve, which I get slightly, but not fully. I understand it as from a concept, but then I also don't understand it much at all. Like, why has he fallen out with him that much? I understand he's grieving from Eddie and stuff like that, but to me it felt like it didn't really need to be there. And if they wanted to do the falling out thing and that, I don't think he really needed to be beaten up by the bullies at all. That just was a little bit like, I'm not sure on that bit. But again, it's a very small thing. I think the VFX in this series has really improved from season to season to season. The Demogorgons are moving faster, we've got more of them on screen, they're more aggressive. I mean, the first series, it wasn't a kids show, but it was like a young adult's horror. This is now just a full-blown adult's horror series, I think. The way that Vecna kills people when he puts the tendrils through someone's face, Mike's family getting absolutely slaughtered. I know they're not dead, but his dad just gets sliced in half almost. This series has really come on in its visual effects leaps and bounds. Like, we've obviously got the de-aging process slightly in season 4, and they've done it with season 5 with Will Byers. There's always a little bit of an uncanny valley with that sort of a thing, but overall I think they did really well with it. I think it looked great, and yeah, there wasn't one of the VFX that really took me out of this at all. I thought they did phenomenally well with how it looked. And again, soundtrack is great. We've got Running Up the Hill again. Another tiny thing that's just popped into my head. I have not had a chance to go and see, I think it's Stranger Things The First Light is the stage play. I haven't had a chance to go and see the stage play at all. It's just one that hasn't really come around that I wanted to, but just haven't had a chance. And I hope they do explain some of the stuff, because I know that the cave system thing is from the stage play, and without looking on YouTube, I probably wouldn't have known that. Like, I had to find out. Like, I needed to find out the key points of the first, like, before going into this, because I had heard that it was going to link to this series, and I wanted to know. And if they don't touch on that, I feel as though that's a little bit of a too much of a loop, too much of a stretch, that people have got to try and figure that out themselves without going to see the stage show. And the stage show isn't on everywhere. Like, not everyone can go and see the stage show. So I feel as though it shouldn't be a necessary viewing for someone to go and see the stage show to be able to understand season 5. So I really hope they do touch on the thing that is the cave system where Henry went and got the powers for the first time, went to the Upside Down, and doesn't want to go in there anymore. I think they will. I don't think there's any way that they don't, because Max doesn't understand why he won't go in there, and Holly doesn't understand. So I think it will be explained, that we are going to find out why he is not in there. And yeah, I just hope that they manage to wrap it up. I am still nervous about ending this series. Just the amount of times we've had an amazing series, and I know it's cliche to say Game of Thrones, that just hasn't stuck the landing. This one seems to be going that the final season is working at the minute, and it's doing really well, and everyone's loving it. I just really hope they stick this landing, and I don't know where it will finish. I've heard a few theories. A few of them I don't like. The dream one came round that, oh, it's all a dream. No, don't do that. Something with time travel, they'll go back to season 1, it'll all start again, but they won't do the upside down thing, that it'll never actually be done because it's all been changed and stuff. I don't like that much. The one that I lean towards is what someone came up with the other day that I saw that was, unfortunately I can't remember who it was, that the Duffer Brothers have said that this will heavily link to season 1, and that their favourite scene of all of them is the first D&D game that the kids played, and that ended with Will sacrificing himself in the game to save the other characters, or trying to. I can't remember if he did succeed in the game or not. I don't think it matters either way. I wonder, and this theory was the one that I leaned towards, that it may end up with Will having to sacrifice himself in some capacity, whether that be him passing away, or he has to be like the new Vecna in the Upside Down to contain it all, that without his presence, because of what he's created, this whole thing will just implode and go wrong and everything will tear open. That Will has to be the one to stay there and keep this thing together, and he will become the new Vecna, but not like an evil version of Vecna. He will be there to control everything and seal the Upside Down away. I think one of our main characters has to die. I think they do. Like, one of them has to. There's too much threat level and too many main characters for one of them not to pass away. And that's not me saying that there's too many main characters in general. I think all the main characters are handled really well and all get their own screen time fantastically. I just think that one of them has to pass away, because it would seem very unplausible that they would all come out of this alive. The threat level, everything that's going on, the way they're going to have to stop Vecna. I think one of them has to, and they've been hinting little bits here and there, obviously, that, or red herrings, that Hopper was going to die or someone else was, and I think that Will obviously do the sacrifice, but I do think Steve may get by the bullet. I do think Steve will. Now, the thing that's made me think is there's been little teasers that obviously they fixated on this huge thing of sprinting to the top of the radio tower, and we've seen it in the show trailer that the radio tower comes back and there's something going up the middle of it. Now I wonder if one of them's going to have to go to the top of that and do something. And at the same time, Jonathan, when they did the first sprint to the top, was wearing a shirt that said The Fall, and I wonder if one of them is going to have to do something and pass away doing that. And Steve is the one that I think would hit so hard that it would also work. I know a lot of people have said, oh, you can't, but it would really, really hit hard and make the show really powerful and strong. I think there will be more stuff come from Stranger Things afterwards. I don't think they're going to just leave this show. I think there'll be spin-offs or something. Not in the continuity Upside Down and stuff like that, but I do think they will do it. And the Duffers had said before, I believe, that after season 1, the plan originally was to do it as like Stranger Things was not just a one thing, it was going to be separate, different things. And I do believe that it's a brand now that they won't just leave behind. We have the animated show coming, which is set between, I believe it was 2 and 3, seasons 2 and 3, to just fill in the gaps a little bit. But I don't think it's the last we've seen of Stranger Things. I think there's more to come afterwards. So yeah, this is a short one from me on my own, obviously, to discuss my thoughts on it. We will be doing more to come with Stranger Things as the series releases. Obviously, we've got, I believe it's the 26th of December, there's the next 2 episodes, and then we get the finale, I think it's New Year's Eve. So we will be doing a review on those coming up and like a wrap-up of the show in general, because it's become this pop culture phenomenon, hasn't it? Like, Stranger Things is known throughout the world now. It was a little show that they released not thinking it was probably going to do this, and now it's the biggest thing in streaming. So we will be touching them. So yeah, follow us on Instagram and TikTok and keep it here, and you will see more reviews from Stranger Things. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. We will see you next week.